One of the things that I do actually appreciate from the debacles we both endured is actually we really came to know who we actually were.
Right.
We were able to understand our areas of strength, our individual areas of weakness.
We gave ourselves away in different ways in past relationship in terms of self-worth, in terms of not being valued because we didn't know our worth. So as a byproduct of that, we didn't guard ourselves.
Yes.
So we allowed ourselves to be open to being talked about. Hello, I'm Joseph Williams.
And I'm Ebony Williams.
Co-founders of J&E Coaching.
Where we help women align,
Amplify,
and accelerate their goals in intimate relationships by challenging their BS.
When Ebony and I got together, before we got together rather, we both had to be honest with ourselves.
Yes.
And really know, well, that's the thing, being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Right? With your intention for dating or for marriage, what's your intention? Right? Prior to us getting together, we were in a horrific relationship, and we'll link up a video to our story, our relationship story. But prior to us getting together, we were in a horrific relationship, and we got to a place of knowing ourselves,
Yes.
right?
Yes, you do.
In our previous relationship, we got to know ourselves, to say the least.
Yes. And one of the things that I do actually appreciate from the debacles we both endured is actually we really came to know who we actually were.
Right.
We were able to understand our areas of strength, our individual areas of weakness, and also to kind of dig into ourselves as to why we actually just made the decision, one, to put up with what we had previously, and also two, what we would do differently so that the next encounter we had would actually be fruitful.
Well, you just talked about the why. A great why that we both discovered is self-worth and worthiness.
Yes, value. Yes.
When you go into a bank or any place of high value, it's going to be guarded, right? Let's just use Tiffany's and Company. If you go in there, everything's behind glass, video cameras, security guards, right? We gave ourselves away in different ways in past relationship in terms of self-worth, in terms of not being valued because we didn't know our worth. So as a byproduct of that, we didn't guard ourselves.
Yes.
So we allowed ourselves to be open to being talked about, to being
ridiculed, to being
marginalized.
Marginalized, exactly. Really low key and like mentally abusive, like verbally abusive, relationships to some extent. And it really comes down to really understanding who you are and your purpose, because the truth is that when you don't understand yourself, you'll allow yourself to be easily misused.
People, when you don't have an identity regarding your self-worth and value, people will assign you.
Yes.
People will assign you.
Yes.
What they believe is your self-worth and your value.
Yes.
So that's why you have to know that for yourself.
Exactly.
Right? Prior to us getting together, individuals within our own family told us that what we have now,
that it couldn't exist.
It couldn't exist.
As a matter of fact, I personally remember actually being told that my standards were too high. And the truth is that I knew, you just have a knowing, like whatever your desires are, if you have that strong guttural knowing, it's yours and it can exist. But it's interesting that our family members gave us their perspective based upon
their perception,
their personal perceptions, which weren't necessarily healthy. So that brings us to another thing. You also have to stand guard in regards to who you actually seek counsel from.
Right.
Like, consider the source. Is the source credible? And when we say credible, we mean, okay, not even that you know the person, not that the person is family, friend. No. If this person is giving you relationship advice, do they themselves know anything about healthy relationships?
Or are they happily in a relationship?
Exactly.
Or are they happily married?
Exactly. Because something else that we have encountered in our personal lives is that people are really quick to try to throw like quantity of years on
quality.
You over quality. Exactly. And quantity doesn't matter. It's the quality that counts, and that's what you're after.
OQP.
Yes.
Only quality people. Keep only quality people in your circle.
Yes.
So as we move from knowing yourself to values and self-worth, how do you know when you're ready to start dating? How do you know when you're ready for a relationship? One of the main things that you want to do, and you probably won't find this in any type of book, is use your instinct.
Mm-hmm.
When Ebony and I got together, we used our instinct.
Yes.
We had a 5-hour conversation. Not saying that you have to have a 5-hour conversation, right, but we knew instinctually that we were to be together.
And that's the thing about like soulmates, life partners, is honestly, it's not really something that like you look for or sought after. It's truly something you just recognize. It's really something that you recognize, and you have to follow that recognition.
So once again, we have to be honest with ourselves. We said this earlier in this conversation. You have to be honest with yourself. So what do I mean now within the context of what we're talking about of intention? Is when I knew Ebony was the one for me, I wasn't just looking at her looks. I wasn't just looking at her body. I wasn't just looking at those surface things, right? She's beautiful and everything like that, but you have to go deeper than that. So you have to be honest with yourself, ladies. Well, he looks good. Well, he makes this amount of money. You continue to date and get in relationships with the same person, but with just a different face. We have to break the mold, break the cycle of perpetually doing the same thing, getting the same results.
And honestly, that's a telltale sign, as Joseph alluded to, dating the same person but with a different face. And at some point, you are the one who needs to wake up and recognize that it's not everyone else, it's you. It's something within you that's drawing the same type of person.
Let's stop pointing the finger.
Yes.
We all know when we point the finger at the other person, well, there are no men out there. It's blah, blah, etc., etc. We all know when you point the finger, you have 3 fingers pointing back at yourself.
Yes.
Pointing back at yourself.
Yes.
That's the first point in this conversation. Yes. Knowing yourself.
Yes.
What's your intention for the relationship? Are you even ready to date?
Exactly.
Are you even ready to be married?
Exactly. Have you let go of that baggage? Any sort of ideologies that you held in regards to, like Joseph said earlier, there are no good men. Every man that I meet, he just seems to be, up to no good.
So you've dated every man? You've dated everybody?
Come on.
No.
Come on. No. You just keep dating the wrong people.
Real love exists.
Yes, it does. Yes,
We're
it
happy.
does.
We don't have no side chick, no side man. No. This is
none of that.
This is locked down.
Exactly.
We're happy.
Exactly. But it came at a cost.
It came at being intentional.
Exactly. And for us, that's how we knew we were ready to date. When we knew, one, that we recognized who we were as individuals. That's number one. Two, we were able to recognize our value and our worth. And three, we were ready to date with intention.
Before we ever got together, when we were dating, we set the tone for our marriage before.
As a matter of fact, we set the tone for our dating or courting life prior to even delving into anything else, okay?
I want a great relationship. I want a great marriage. Want is lazy language.
It's totally lazy language.
If you truly desire to be happy, if you truly desire to stop getting the same results, you have to desire a great relationship. You have to desire a great marriage and put in the time and the work.
And that's what sets us apart from the people that we know, okay? Is that one, we didn't use lazy language. It became, look, this is truly what I desire, and because this is what I desire, I am willing to work at this until we get what we actually see for ourselves. And you have to be willing to do the same.
So to recap, how you know you're ready to date? You know you're ready to date when you know yourself first.
Mm-hmm. Secondly, you know your value and you recognize your worth.
And lastly, you know you're ready to date when you date with intention. Mm-hmm. So we thank you so much for joining us in this conversation. We'll see you next time. And always remember, if it's not challenging you,
it's not changing you.